Hello students, welcome back to the online class of physics. This is your Naima Miss back with chemical bonding. So in our previous class we have learned about the how the chemical bonding came into existence, how these electrons were involving in the formation of bond, how the valence of electrons, that is the outermost shell, is used in the bonding of an atom with another atom, how the Lewis dot structure was given, how the Lewis and causal both involved in, and they came to know how the electrons are involving in the formation of bond, right? Then we even learn about the octet rule, right? What is octet rule? An atom of an element tends to undergo chemical change that help to leave their atoms with 8 outermost shell electrons, right? So this is a very important law. Then we said that we have learned what, then we came to know what is chemical bond. The force of attraction between any two or group of atoms that result a stable entity is called as chemical bond. So there we came to know that there are two types of there are so many types of actually chemical bonds, but in this class, that is in your 10th class, we will learn only about ionic and the covalent bond because it is very important. So let us now, today's class we will discuss about the ionic bond and chemical covalent bond. Okay, so let us start the class. So let us start with the ionic bond. So Causal proposed the ionic bond based on the following facts. Now, seeing the word ionic here, do you have any idea, children, what is ionic here? Ionic means there is some ion formation taking place. There is some bond because due to the electrostatic force, there is some bond formation taking place. That means here you can say that the electrons are transferred to another, electrons of one atom are transferred to the electrons of another atom, and there is a formation of bond which is due to electrostatic force, and that bond is called as ionic bond or electrostatic bond. Okay, there is a bond taking place due to the transfer of electrons from one element to another element, but that is occurring due to the some electrostatic force, and that bond is called as electrostatic bond, or it is also called as ionic bond. So based on this fact, the following points have been known. Those are nothing but ionic bond is formed between the atoms of two dissimilar elements due to the transfer of elements from the atom of one element to the another. Okay, they are highly reactive metals like alkali metals. So they may have the elements which are forming the ionic bond. They may have the highly reactive metals like alkali metals and highly non-reactive metals like halogens. Okay, first A group, seventh A group on the left side and right side of the periodic table. Noble gases except helium have 8 electrons in the valence shell of their atom. As I already said you, helium, it is having how many? Helium is having 2, right? Other than helium, all other noble gases are having 8 in their valence shell. What they are having? 8 electrons in their valence shell. So they are chemically inactive and stable. As I said, they will mostly not participate in the chemical reactions, and even they are highly stable. To attain the 8 electrons in the outermost shell, similar to the noble gases, metal atoms have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell, and generally lose those electrons and form stable positive ions called as cations. What do they form? They form cations. So what we have learned here, there is some bond formation taking place with the formation of the ions, positive ions, negative ions. So whatever metals are there, what metals are doing? The metals, they are having 1 2 3 electrons in their outermost shell extra. So what they'll do, they'll release that. We have learned in our last class also. What they'll do, suppose it is having 3 electrons more in the, this is the valence, this is the atomic number of an element, and it is having 3 electrons more in the outermost shell. What it will do, it will release these 3 electrons and gain positive charge. So those element which is gaining positive charge, for example, whose electronic configuration this is 283, it is nothing but aluminium, right? So aluminium's atomic number is what, 13. So this is the electronic configuration of aluminium. Now what it is doing, it is releasing these last 3 electrons. Now it has gained what, it has gained the positive charge. Now how you'll write this, Al plus 3, right? So this is nothing but, this is called as cation. It is stable and it has gained the positive charge, so it is called as cations. Okay, so to attain 8 electrons in the outermost shell, similar to the noble gases, metal atoms have 1, 2, 3 electrons in the valence shell. Generally, they will lose their electrons and form a stable positive ion, which is called as cation. Okay, children. Now you see here example, they have given sodium. Sodium's atomic number is 11. So how we will write the electronic configuration? This is electronic configuration. So how you will write electronic configuration? 2, 8, 1. Now when you are removing this one electron from the outermost shell, it is gaining the strong electronic configuration 8. It is getting stable, right? So when it is getting stable, what it is having, when you have removed one electron, it has gained one positive charge, right? So what is the electronic configuration now? 2 and 8. So that means now this is sodium plus is nothing but it is also a cation. Alright. Similarly, now we will take magnesium. Magnesium's atomic number is 12. So what is the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 2. Now we will remove these 2 electrons and it will go and bond up with other element. Now there is a bond formation. So what is the electron configuration? It is having 8 as the outermost electron. So it is stable. So what it has gained? It has gained 2 as the positive charge. So this positive means what it is showing? It shows that it has lost the electron. Okay, it has lost the electron. Similarly, now you are having aluminium. Aluminium 13. As I already have explained this, 2, 8, 3. So 3 is nothing but the, it has lost the electrons and it has gained the positive charge here. So this is nothing but 2 and 8, it has gained the stability. So now this is also has become Al plus 3 or 3 plus, this is nothing but it is also a cation. So when it becomes cation, when it loses the electron, when it is losing the electron, it is becoming the cation, right? Now when it is losing the cation, it is becoming, when it is losing the electron, it is becoming cation. So opposite also we should see, right? If you are seeing one side when it is losing, then when it is gaining also we have to see. Then when it is gaining, what it is called? When it is gaining, it is called as anion. When it is gaining electrons to become stable, it is called as anion. See, if you see here, we have that point also. To attain 8 electrons in the outermost shell, non-metal atoms that have 5, 6 or 7 valence electrons gain 3, 2 or 1 electron respectively and from negative ion known as anions. Right? So, we'll see the examples. Suppose it is phosphorus 15. So, what is the electronic configuration? 2, 8 and 5. Now what it is doing, it is closer to 8, right? So it will not lose the electron. In fact, it will gain the electron. So what will happen? It will just take more. How many electrons it need for the getting stability? 5 na? 6, 7, 8. So we'll write 3 electrons it needs. So it will gain 3 electrons and it will get this 3 electrons and it will become stable. So what will be the charge now? Phosphorus 3 minus. Why 3 minus? Because it has gained this. It has gained the 3 electrons, right? So this is now, it is called as anion, right? Now, if you see sulfur, it is 16, 6. right? 2, 8, 6. Now this 6 is closer to the atom stability, right? So what it will do, it will take 2 electrons. It will borrow or take 3 electrons from another atom and it will gain a charge. That is nothing but it will take how many here? 6, 2, right? 6 plus 2, 8. So it has gained 2, sorry, S2 minus, that is it is having more electrons, and this is also nothing but anion, right? If you go with chlorine, chlorine's atomic number is 17, 287, right? So 7 it is having more, how many now electrons it need to get stability? 1, right? So it will take 1 electron. Now how many what charge it will get? Chlorine, how many electrons it has gained? 1 minus, that is nothing but anion. This can be even written as Cl minus, which will show only 1 electron is present in it, right? So with this we have now come to know about the ionic bond, right? Now how the ionic bond formation is taking place, that also we will see. Formation of ionic bond. The positive ions, that is cations, and negative ions, that is anions, that are formed due to the transfer of electrons from the metal atoms to the non-metal atoms experience the electrostatic force. As I already said, there is some electrostatic force which is acting on the electrons to get transferred from one metal atom to the another non-metal atom and get attracted to form a chemical bond. As this bond is between the charged particle known as ions, it is called as ionic bond. Sometimes, based on the forces being electrostatic, the bond is called the electrostatic bond. As I said you, the ionic bond is also called as electrostatic bond. Why? Because of the forces that is being electrostatic. As I said, there is some electrostatic force which is acting on the atoms to exchange the electrons or to transfer the electrons or to get a bond formation. It is there is a force which is acting is, as I said, electrostatic force. That's why it is called as electrostatic bond. If they ask you write about the electrostatic bond, you should not get confused. Electrostatic bond is nothing but ionic bond. As the valence concept has been explained in the terms of electrons, it is also called as electrovalent bond. So if they ask you to write about the ionic bond formation, or if they ask you to write about the electrostatic bond, or if they ask you to write about the electrovalent bond, it is one and the same. Please don't get confused, children. It is one and the same. If it is electrostatic bond, that is also same. If it is electrovalent bond, that is also same. So just don't get confused. As the valence concept has been explained here in the terms of electrons, it is also called as electrovalent bond. Okay. Thus, we can define ionic bond as follows. So, here is the definition of the electrostatic bond or the ionic bond. The electrostatic attractive force that keeps cations and anions, which are formed from the metal atoms and non-metal atoms due to the transfer of electrons together to form a new electrically charged compounds, is called as ionic bond. So what it is nothing but because the force what it is doing, it is allowing the formation of cations and anions, which will lead to the formation of new compounds, that is called as ionic bond. The electrostatic attractive force that keeps the cations and anions together to form a new electrically neutral compound is called as the ionic bond, right? Example, we can say NaCl, MgCl2, Na2O, right? For example, if we see the bond formation between the NaCl, So if we are seeing the bond formation between the NaCl here, NaCl, which is nothing but sodium chloride, right? It is nothing but sodium chloride. So if we are seeing the formation of sodium chloride, what you will see, so sodium chloride is a form salt from the elements of sodium and chloride. Yes, so we can say sodium, which is solid, plus half Cl will give rise to NaCl solid. Okay, so when sodium atom loses an electron to get an octet electronic configuration, it forms a cation, right? So this will form a cation. Why? Because it is losing one electron. And the chlorine, so how it is forming here? See, Na is losing one electron and forming Na plus, right? So that is, if it is having electronic configuration of 281, right? So it is losing this one electron and it is forming the Na plus one electron. Similarly, chlorine is having what? 17, right? So what it is doing, it is taking this electron is going and bonding with it, and it will form what? Cl minus, right? It is getting 18 electrons here now. 2 8 7, here it has come to 2 8 8. It has gained a stability, right? So like this, there is a bond formation. What it will do now, this Na plus Cl minus will form a bond called NaCl. Yes. So the formation of compound NaCl from its ion, that is nothing but transfer of electrons between the Na and Cl, that is sodium and chloride atoms, result in the formation of Na plus and Cl minus. So these oppositely charged ions get attracted towards each other and due to the electrostatic force. So some electrostatic force will attract them towards each other. Okay, will attract them towards each other and form a bond, and which will lead to the formation of a compound that is nothing but sodium chloride. Yes, children. Similarly, we have MgCl2 Na2O. Okay, which I will be explaining in our next class. Thank you.